On tonight's edition of the Overtime, high school volleyball finished up their season. We will discuss the most impressive team this year. NAU football earned a much-needed victory over 4th-ranked Eastern Washington. We will determine their chances to claim a Big Sky title. NAU volleyball has been on a tear. Can they continue dominance into the Big Sky tournament? And finally, NAU basketball is beginning their season. We'll give you a quick season outlook. Thank you for joining us and welcome to this edition of the Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Austin Davis. We have evaluations to give for high school volleyball and some NAU sports to discuss tonight. And joining me is sports reporter Jason Friedman. Jason, thanks for joining me.
It's great to be here, Austin. I'm real excited. We got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. Let's get right into it.
Hey, I like your attitude. High school volleyball. The season has concluded here in Flagstaff as the Eagles fell to Millennium High School in the state semifinals. Jason, which team were you impressed with the most this year?
Well, Austin, that is a tough question because all three teams had great seasons, but I have to go with the Flagstaff Eagles. While Coconino fell in the first round and NPA in the second, the Eagles just kept on chugging all the way to the semifinals before falling in 5 sets to Millennium. While the Eagles ultimately lost that one, they played very well, keeping it close the entire game. This team was dominating all year, winning 34 games and taking 8 of their 9 section matchups. This team has made back-to-back semifinal appearances, and they're going to have a lot of shoes to fill for next season because they are losing 7 seniors, including captains Courtney, Leffel, and Kayla Morales.
Well, like you said, Jason, all three teams had great seasons. NPA finished 24-8-1. Coconino finished 22-13, and both teams made the playoffs. Of course, next year they'll be craving a deeper playoff run. Staying on the volleyball court, but heading over to NAU, the NAU volleyball team is absolutely dominating this year, winning game after game, it seems. And with the season almost over, can this team win the conference, Jason?
Well, saying that this team is dominating is really just an understatement, Austin. Their win over Southern Utah tied the school record for 12 wins in a row. They look to have home court advantage locked up for the Big Sky tournament, and I think that they are the obvious choice to win that tournament, but I really think this team should be aiming higher than that. The NCAA rankings currently have them at 50th in the country, and I think that they are really underestimating this team, and they could make some noise at the national level. Led by seniors Payton, Bock, and Austin, your favorite player, Janae, Vander, this team is not to be taken lightly.
Hey, both of those players were a part of my Hall of Fame, this or that, and without a doubt, this team is not gaining enough recognition. I mean, again, you said it, Janae and Payton are playing at an extremely high level, and it seems to set the tone for the rest of the team. And most importantly, they're playing good volleyball to finish out the year, and right on time for that Big Sky tournament. All right, let's go over to the football field with the Lumberjacks. Jason, for the second year in a row, the NAU football team has upset Eastern Washington. And with the season winding down, what are the Jacks' chances at a conference title?
Well, Austin, the Lumberjacks are in a really good spot right now. They have a young quarterback, wide receiver duo in Case Cookus and Emmanuel Butler that grows more dynamic every week and has been the anchor to this explosive offense all season long. The defense hasn't been great, but they step up when it really matters. But the question is, can this team win the Big Sky? Well, they can, but it's going to take a lot of luck for the Lumberjacks. As you can see, the Jacks are currently 4th in the conference, and they have some ground to make up if they want to catch up to Southern Utah. First thing that needs to happen for NAU to take home the conference title is they need to win their next 2 games against Sac State and conference leader Southern Utah. They also need Eastern Washington to lose one of their 2 remaining games, and they also need Southern Utah to lose to Portland State this week. Well, it's still possible for the Jacks to win the Big Sky. They're going to need a lot of help, and I think they should turn their focus to next year and look to develop some of their younger players.
Sounds like a lot needs to happen for them in order to claim that big title. But if there's a small chance, it is still a chance. It's going to be one heck of a finish for that conference title. With football and volleyball coming to a close, it means that it is time for basketball. What can we expect from NAU this year?
Well, the team is coming off one of the best programs or one of the best seasons in program history last year, and they started off with a bit of a letdown this year when they lost their exhibition game to Division II Cal Baptist, but I'm not too worried about this one though. The Lumberjacks had several players dealing with some minor injuries, and Cal Baptist, despite being a Division II team, is still very talented. This year I'm really looking for point guard Chris Yonku to step up for the Jacks. He's an explosive player at the point guard position and gets past most defenders when he drives to the hoop, and he also draws a ton of fouls. Even though he led the nation in free throws made last season, I would like to see him improve on the 79% he shot from the free throw stripe last year. If he can get that number up to 85 or 90%, that would put him among the most efficient scorers in the nation.
Yeah, well said, Jason. This team has some serious expectations after last season, but I have faith that Coach Murphy can lead this team to another strong season. Coming up after the break, there's a new high school athletic program in town. Our reporter Matt Stern has more after the break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the Overtime. Basis High School has a new athletic program, and our very own sports reporter Matt Stern is with Basis head of school Sean Clark and Basis athletic director Michael Anderson.
Today I'm in the studio with head of school Sean Clark and the athletic director at Basis, Michael Anderson. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So I just want to start off, this is your first year in the as an athletic program in AIA. How is your first semester going so far?
So far, so good. We're a very academically rigorous school, so the sports program, we've been using it as a way to sort of augment our program, to attract students, to retain students, and so far it's been a rousing success, both with the athletics but also with our chess team and the speech and debate team as well.
Awesome, awesome. And now, Michael, what kind of sports have you had so far this spring?
Well,
this fall?
we started off with varsity volleyball. We had a young girls team, which was mostly freshman and sophomore. Kind of wanted to get them the feel of it, but we also had our cross country team, and of course we have speech and debate and chess. So those are the ones we started off, and we're starting off our boys basketball varsity team this week.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned spring sports. Now, is that the only sport you have going on in the spring? Do you have any other sports, spring sports?
We don't, as far as AIA, as far as varsity. We wanted to kind of start off a little bit small, just to kind of see how we kind of fit into our programs. We're looking to add more possibly next year as far as individualized sports, but looks like basketball. We also compete a lot in the middle school portion with FUSD and local schools as well, so that keeps us busy.
Yeah, and you brought up the idea of adding on more sports. What kind of sports do have you thought about possibly adding in the future?
Well, Dr. Clark and I have talked about this. We really want to kind of hone in on our team sports that we already have, but we also want to look at individualized sports. Since we're a small school, Division 5, we're looking at tennis, swimming, possibly golf, things of that nature, just so we can make it more individualized.
Awesome, awesome. And now let's move over to our athletic facilities. Do you have any type of athletic facilities like gyms or fields for practice and whatnot, and if not, do you plan on adding any in the future?
Yeah, currently we only have a small gym, and we've had to play all our games as away games, but mostly that was actually not because of the gym space, but more because of the schedule when we joined the AA was already set. So next year we will have home games, but they won't be at our school. We'll probably use a rented facility. We're hoping that in coming years, as our school expands to a full K through 12, that we will build a full-size gym and we will be able to host games on our campus itself. But currently, like I said, we just have a half-size gym, and we use rented space for some practices, and then when we'll have home games next year.
All right, now I want to switch gears a little bit to your coaching staffs. What kind of coaches are you guys like? Are they teachers on campus? Are you bringing in outside coaches that have maybe more experience or whatnot?
So far this year, we've been using teachers, teachers who've had experience playing themselves, and they have been fantastic. The dedication that they show in the classroom is translated onto the playing field as well, and they spend huge amounts of time with these kids, and the dedication they show is just amazing. In future years, we'll just have to see how it goes with the teaching staff we have, and if we need to bring in outside coaches. But like I said, this year it's been really great having the teachers coach.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule, being here with me. Hopefully, you get best of luck, in your athletic program in the near future.
Thank you, Matt, for sitting down with Sean Clark and Michael Anderson. Sounds like good things are in store for sports at Basis. And we have some important games coming up. Ashley, how is the schedule looking?
Yes, this weekend's looking packed, and I'll tell you more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. We have a few big games going on this weekend, so let's get to it. First up, NAU Ice Jacks take on Loyola Marymount University tonight at 8:30 in the J. Lively Ice Arena. Next, we have NAU football playing Sacramento State Saturday. You can catch that game home in the Skydome or on Fox Sports AZ Plus at 2 p.m. And lastly, we have NAU's women's basketball playing their first game against Hawaii. That will be Sunday at 2 p.m. in the Roll Activity Center. Well, that's all we got this week, so make sure and come check out your local sports.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you for all watching in. Tune in every Friday, 6:15 for more sports. For NAZ Today, I'm Austin Davis. That was awesome.